How'd you fall off? You were sat down. Ah, what the no? What did you just do? The lizard went up his nose. Do all of them have a lizard in their head too? Are they controlled by lizards? Do they all snort lizards? What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Ben, and today I'll be reacting to the Book of Boba Fett episode 2. Now, I think the last episode, right? I am intrigued. I would say the whole idea of him trying to be this crime lord while also trying to rule with respect, I think is kind of counterintuitive to me. The show has yet to convince me of Boba Fett's direction there, because like he went and killed off the previous crime lord very quickly, unprovoked, just straight up did away with them and then took power. That feels a lot different to what he's trying to do now. Hopefully though, this episode we'll just get to see what happened immediately after the last one with the whole TUSKENS thing, because I think that is what can convince me that of this change in direction. But again, him killing off Bib Fortuna was after that, so it's like, how does this track? I don't know, I'm just hoping to see a bit more on how he gained this respect and how it didn't apply to Bib Fortuna and why it's now applying for him in the whole crime lord stuff. But other than that, I think I am looking forward to just seeing what is going on in the present and with the whole conflict with the mayor, what is going on there? Because I want Boba Fett to start acting like Boba Fett. I want him to go and take on the mayor, who's trying to basically become a crime lord himself by making Boba pay him. I want him to go nuts. I want him to just start going back to how he normally is, I guess. At least a few times if this direction is to become more honourable like his father, which I think is fine. By doing like a back and forth, maybe just showing off the struggle with him trying to do better but always falling back into old patterns. Also, I will say I'm continually loving just seeing more of Tatooine because it's such a pivotal planet in Star Wars, and just seeing more of it and what goes on here is really nice to see. You get to know that Mos Eisley has a mayor, which is cool. No, not Mos Esper has a mayor. And we get to see how the rich just become rich here and just see more of the class divide going on. And if that's something that Boba Fett wants to overcome and get rid of, more power to him. Then again, he just sees it as another business. So I don't know where his honor really lies here. I'm waiting for his honor to be fully established. I think we know that he's trying to be more honorable, but how is that honor structured? He's okay with the businesses, like Whip, I think that's her name, has a bar with water on a desert planet, but we also know Tatooine is full of slaves and all of this stuff. So what kind of honor does Boba Fett have? How drastically does he want to change Tatooine? But yeah, as always, if you do enjoy this video, please remember to like and subscribe, as it really does help the channel to grow. If you do enjoy my content and you want to help support the channel, I do have a Patreon, the link will be in the description. Over them uploading these videos and the full reaction a week in advance. If that's something you're interested in, feel free to check it out. With that said, let's just dive on in. Jabba's palace really is in the middle of nowhere. I'm still curious, what does like Boba Fett have from Jabba? Because he had a bunch of stuff here. I'm sure he had droids in this bit, which Luke had to destroy. Did he destroy them? But of course, the main bit was the Rancor in the basement, essentially. Luke killed that, so I'm guessing he doesn't have one yet. So what kind of threats can he do? Again, I feel like Boba doesn't feel as powerful as he should be at the minute.
What were your orders?
And he ain't gonna speak. Clearly the person who hired him is more scary than Boba Fett. That should not be the case.
He no longer needs his head.
Good, good. But you need to... Hatiz. He doesn't care. What can you do? How can you... Because he knows that you're not going to kill him because you need something from him.
Very expensive.
Overpriced. You're paying for the name.
There is no way this one will talk.
I know of their reputation.
They're just people in hoods.
Fennec knows how to get through to him, doesn't he?
They fear no man.
Perhaps he fears the Rancor.
Oh, he does. And you have one. You have one. Tell me you have one. He actually does fear it though, because I'm guessing the Rancor would make someone suffer as it kills them. So yeah, it's a very nasty fate. Oh. There's a window. Where is it?
I was sent by the mayor! The mayor sent me! Let me out!
Yep, Claire. Nothing in there.
It's empty.
So you don't have one. But yes, the mayor did send them. Interesting. It's also interesting that Fennec was the one that had to do that. Come on, Boba. I need you to start doing stuff like that. So now the mayor, let's see, he's refusing to pay tribute, wants Boba to pay tribute to him, and has sent people to go kill him. The mayor seems awful, clearly corrupt, but for some reason he obeyed Jabba. Probably because Jabba would have fed him to the Rancor. But now, how does Boba instill the same fear? Because clearly respect ain't going to work with the mayor. It really goes through that the Fennec was right about the whole assassins, that you're paying for the name. They're clearly not as good as the reputation precedes them, because she was able to get the information out. I'm trying to think, does Boba even come off as a crime lord to the rest of the people of Tatooine at the minute? Or would he just come off as a bounty hunter, because he is a Mandalorian? He doesn't look like he has that sort of level. So how do people understand that he does have that position? Because again, he isn't riding around like Jabba would.
I'm here to see the mayor.
Boba Fett.
Yeah, and you're not intimidating enough at the minute.
I'm here to return it to its master.
Well, I don't see your name in the schedule, so you'll...
Even the receptionist doesn't fear him. Come on.
The lack of pomp for your entrance. However, I did not see your litter arrive.
I don't like this guy at all.
And delighted by your serendipitous visit. I regret to inform you the mayor is indisposed for the rest of the week.
This actor that they got for the Twilight is absolutely brilliant here. He's just so irritating, but in that sort of annoying way.
Apologies for the intrusion.
That's the mayor? Okay.
Who is this who enters unannounced?
Mock Shays.
The mayor had nothing.
He's a member of the Order of the Night Wind.
Yep, so openly admitting it. He doesn't fear Boba at all. See, that is the level that Boba should be on.
Give this man his reward.
Alright, what are you doing now? You're going to pay him? He's going to be treated as tribute?
I am not a bounty hunter.
Is that so? I've heard otherwise.
So again, they're not treating you like a crime lord, they're treating you as a bounty hunter.
And I will take this payment as what you should have brought me as tribute.
But it isn't tribute, this is your big mistake. You should have get that payment and then require more to actually make up for the tribute.
Before you threaten me, you should ask yourself, who really sent the Night Wind?
It wasn't you?
Here is the tribute I offer. Some advice.
You're still not offering tribute, like actual tribute.
Running a family is more complicated than bounty hunting.
Yes, crime. It's good advice. Crime lord stuff is you're trying to keep people happy.
Ours is sanctuary. You'll see what I speak of.
Garseth Whip, that's the Twi'lek that he thought he got on very well with by going through his respect route. It ain't gonna be what he expects. She's turned because his respect approach isn't working. You basically just killed the head of their family, tried to replace them, and obviously it's not gonna go the right way. They were loyal to Jabba for reasons which currently Boba Fett is not meeting. Does she fear Boba's presence here, or like what's her reaction?
Mokshai sent me here as though there's something I should know. Now you're sweating like a Gumpton Mustafa.
You haven't heard.
What is she hiding? How's she gonna play this game?
The twins have laid claim to their late cousin's bequest.
What is that, where?
Twins are preoccupied with the debauchery of Hutta.
Hutta?
Bother with any ambitions.
I'm assuming the twins are like a Hutt thing, and Jabba would have been their cousin. Music's gone. Or new music, what's happening? I feel like someone else is going to try and claim Jabba's throne. Boba needs to be able to defend it, or otherwise people are just going to walk all over him. That's currently happening. He currently isn't showing his power. People aren't afraid of him, so they're going to come for the throne as well. And this is it. This is what Boba should be carried around in. And yep, twins, the Hutts, I'm assuming they're going to try and inherit Jabba's position. And like everyone stops and pays respect because that's what they're accustomed to. Boba is not doing that, so they don't realize that they probably don't even think Boba is like the crime lord at the minute. They probably just think it's them. They probably think Boba works for him. So much of this is about image and Boba's just ignoring it all. Okay, so not just straight up taking it. Who is dead, but they're still... Ooh. Yep, there we go. Oh, and they're gonna eat that animal.
This is Mos Espa, and I am Daimyo.
Gotta defend it. And they've brought someone. That is such a cool looking Wookiee. He looks terrifying. Yeah, I'd be intimidated. Okay. Oh dear. I mean, I'm sure Boba Fett will be fine again if someone tries to kill him, but he needs to show off his power.
Go back to Nal Hutta.
And now you want him dead. You want him dead. Uh-huh. You gonna do it? Why wouldn't you?
Your cousin Jabba is dead. Cowardly Major Domo usurped his territory, and then I killed him.
Mm-hmm. In cold blood.
Your sister is right. If you want it, you'll have to kill me for it.
And that means you could... Okay, do this. You gotta defend the throne. Get rid of your adversaries here. This is how you do it on Tatooine. It's not through respect, because people just don't understand respect here. Okay, so still calling him a bounty hunter. So are you going to let him go back to the palace and just live there, or are you just going to set up shop in there? So what are you doing? You backing off? Why back off? Well, they're definitely not done with their planning, but why wait? Why wait? Why hold off? I'm guessing they know what Boba's capable of and they don't want to mess with him right now. They want to be prepared. They see Fennec, they see the guards, but of course, the people fear them more. Boba still doesn't carry around that power that he should.
We would have to get permission if you want to kill him.
Permission from
Maybe it's settled.
No, it...
You really think so?
Come on, Boba, stop this, please. You know it isn't. Yeah, but why do you need permission to kill the Hutts? Cad Bane killed one. The tank still confuses me. What injury has he? Is it the Sarlacc pit? Did that do something to him where he's constantly needed this, but they were just never mentioned in The Mandalorian? Oh, are they farming? And they're treating him better, yay, and he's learning how to fight with the stick. Cool. So no longer forcing him to work, and they are treating him their way. They're teaching him their ways.
I am holding it the same.
Clearly not. Hold it that way. Okay, so he's getting on well with these people now then. So things are going on. They've accepted him. He's no longer sort of their servant or slave. I assume that's what he was. He was chained up, wasn't treated well, and used to farm.
Show me.
He still can't speak their language. Is he trying to learn how they speak? Doing better then, yay. No, what's that? What are the little nightmares on Tatooine? What, a frog beetle? What? Ugh. They got it. What on earth hides beneath the sands here? I feel like there's always something new. What's that? Low rumbling? They fear it. What's happening? Okay, guns at the ready. Is that a train? Does that have smoke coming out of it? It's either a train or some kind of weird animal. Oh, damn, it's a train and it's shot. Oh, dear. Get down! There's trains on Tatooine. Okay, good. You're saving them. You're using the dead thing as a shield. Good, good, good. Full train. And people are being slaughtered. Yep, they've got very good aim. So essentially, something's cutting through their territory and slaughtering them. That's not good. And Boba clearly wants to do something about it. These people, yes, they kidnapped him and forced him to work for them. But now he has their respect and they respect him, I guess. So maybe he wants to help them now. Oh, he's seeing Tusken burial. How does this work? They burn everyone. Okay. Did they let him put one down? No, yeah, he just carries them over. They do it themselves. Makes sense. And just checked on. Okay. Is the brutal nature of this place? I'm just kind of thinking they're just chucking dead bodies on top of each other. It's kind of, but considering the brutal nature of this place, this makes sense. So what is Boba up to now? Is he allowed to leave if he wanted to? What's that? Speeders. Where are they? Are they getting closer? What's happening?
I will stop the train.
The long speeder. Okay. And he can understand them now. Yay.
Be back by morning.
I've got no doubts on him. He can do it. And what were the speeders about? Because that was a different thing. They were just in the dark at night. What are they part of? The train station? And what is it? It looks kind of odd in the desert, seeing just a building there, not tents or anything. A bar? Cool. Is that a game? This is fun. This is out in the desert, not in like a town. I like this. We're getting an expansion on Tatooine. It's not just like a complete... And of course, yep, just taken from others. So they're awful, yep. Why would you stay here? Just go. Just leave. But yeah, seeing this is on Tatooine, this is nice. So you've got little maybe rest stops around the planet. That's cool.
He said it's not right.
You really want to pick a fight? Know when you're outmatched. There's like so many of them. Just leave. Really should have just left. What do you think he was going to do? Now everyone's going to die. Well, not the good people, obviously. Excellent. Come on, Boba. Good. See, why can't he be this brutal in present day? So something did change. And now to the stick. Awesome. So when did this change? When did he stop being this brutal? So it's not just that the Tuskens have accepted him. They clearly still like it. So at what point did he suddenly switch? That's what you should have done to the mayor. Yeah, where's the train? Has this got anything to do with the train at all? Yeah, what is the plan? How did you find this train? So you've gone to a bar, you found speeders from those people, which I'm assuming you're going to take. Are they connected to the train? I thought he said he'd be back by morning. It's morning now. Okay, you've taken all the speeders. Nice. You got them, the speeders. Interesting. Tuskens with speeders. That would be nuts. So then, how can he tell them that it's him? How can they, like, how can he make sure that they don't shoot at him? Okay, they got those. Okay, good. Can they even see him with that? How do you, like, avoid getting shot at? Okay, they can recognize him. Nice. Are they happy with this? Because I'm thinking, would the Tuskens even like technology and machines? They have rifles, but, like, I'm sure that they would have come... Yeah, I'm sure they would have come across these things before. They're pretty good at what they do, and they're just taking them apart, yeah.
These are mine.
He didn't care.
How to ride. I will teach you.
Why do they need them when they have their yak thing, their bantha?
This is how we will stop the train.
That one hand signal for stop the train.
This makes it go.
This should be quite funny, right? Just watching Tuskens learn how to use this.
Makes it stop. Go. Stop.
Are they understanding it all?
Like a bantha. Yes?
Just show them.
Okay, who wants to go first?
I think stopping is probably the most important thing to teach them at this point, because it seems very easy to get it to go, but if they don't know how to stop, they're going to go flying into a sand dune. How? What? How did they... Okay. Somehow they did that. And they're just fiddling with things now. You've got to teach them this fast if you want them to deal with the train. I mean, it's certainly an interesting sight seeing the Tuskens on speeders. It's really nice seeing their sort of advancement. Like, could they start their own... Okay. Could they start their own sort of city like Mos Espa or Isley, where they're no longer intense, but they can actually build buildings or something?
Signal with this.
Okay, cool. Everyone's important. How'd you fall off? You were sat down. I mean, it's nice, it's trust exercises, so that's fun, yay. Some bonding with the Tuskens after they basically turn him into a slave. Everyone's preparing to fight, cool. Yeah, at what point do you decide to start being more honourable and give up the brutality? Ooh, oh, no, he didn't win. Looked like it, though. Nice, he got closer at least. Oh, is it time? He's become kind of a leader in this group, hasn't he, then? He was able to lead these sort of missions. It is kind of a jump. I'm just surprised that the Tuskens would accept him and give him this sort of authority so easily or quickly. Yes, he did save the kid, but almost I would imagine Tuskens would be like, yeah, that's the least you can do. Because, of course, they started off by just looking down on him, not considering him, I guess, worth, like, respect. He saves the kid, and that just changes everything in how they see them. And not just to treat him as a tribesman, but also to give him sort of a leadership position. I think I might have liked a bit more friction within the Tuskens. Like, maybe not everyone accepts them, like accepts him being there in that sort of position. They just have to go really far to earn their respect. Okay, here they come. Are they prepared for this, whoever they are? Oh no. Okay, so your job. So your job is to signal, and you're getting in front of the train. There we go. Here's the next batch. Hopefully you don't get shot at. Nice. Okay. So how do you, like, are you trying to get on it? What are you trying to do? You're meant to stop the train. Because of course they can't really talk about what plan they have for this, can they? Because they can barely speak each other's language. Ropes I don't feel like is going to be the best idea, especially when you put them over a window. Oh, you saving another? Nicely done. See, I feel like that could have been used right. Maybe that Tusken didn't trust him or was kind of against him to begin with. That could have been good, just build the trust. I feel like he's already just cemented trust already and there's like no friction whatsoever. I feel like that's a little bit too easy. Yes, he saved the kid, but how does that impact everyone else in the tribe? Because remember, he's still an outsider and yet everyone accepts him so quickly. Now this is cool though, just seeing them all climb the ship. And yep, train fight. Nice, take them down. What alien is this? I don't think we've seen them before. And yep, gone. What is this like? Oh, okay, a lot of them. What is this train doing? Because I feel like the whole purpose of getting rid of it is so it stops cutting through their territory and shooting at them. But what else? What's the purpose of the train? I feel like there's gonna have bigger implications. Okay, you're one of the main Tuskens. You jump. Oh! Okay, you got skilled with that. Nicely done. Good to know it's not explosives in this thing. Oh, fun little pilot droid. What's it doing? It's going faster. Oh no. Oh, stay on. Stay on. Do not fall off. Can you get in one of the windows? Other alien gone yet? Oh, nice. I actually wish we got some names for the Tuskens, because I want to call that one by its name, but of course don't know it. Just, black, I don't know, fabric-wearing Tusken?
Watch out!
Oh, yeah, back off from the fire! Oh, alive, dead, what happened to you? You gotta deal with the little droid. Oh, you're gonna get singed? Oh, nice, and a flying, yay. Okay, you didn't fall off, what is that? What do you want? Okay, you're near the front of it.
Stop the train!
Is it going to? Like, I don't think it can at the minute. It's jumping out the window? Really? You're a droid? It survived. Wow, okay, and off it goes. Now what? What on earth is the purpose of this train that the droid would even jump out the window? I mean, you seem fine. It's not like you're going to crash into anything anytime soon. Just get everyone off. Is this going to work? Oh, yeah. I feel like the only danger is that the engine might explode. Oh, no, it turned off great. It's a giant metal thing. I think you should be fine and you're just crashing into sand. And yay, now they can scrap it for parts and use it for whatever. Yay. And it's no longer going to shoot at your people. So yeah, what is it? What was in this? Weapons? Interesting. What was the purpose of this train? What were they transporting? Oh, that what they look like underneath?
Who's the leader?
Probably killed the leader. Oh no, it's the one dressed all fancy. There's another one dressed fancy as well, though.
Are you going to kill us?
Depends on how you answer what I'm about to ask.
Will a train come back? Is anyone going to be sent after you? What threat do they pose now?
Santa spice from the slave mines of Kessel.
Kessel
what does
spice?
spice look like?
Take it that.
This is not looking good for you.
Okay, so they're spice shippers or something.
These sands are no longer free for you to pass.
Excellent, so you defended their territory.
These people lay ancestral claim to the Dune Sea. If you are to pass, a toll is to be paid to them.
Okay, so letting them go.
Death out from the passing freighters will be returned tenfold.
Would they accept this?
Lives are a gesture of our civility.
Seems good, yep. Oh, they gotta walk back, yeah. Train's gone.
We will give you each a black melon. Survive on its milk, as these people do.
Okay, cool. So he's helping the Tuskens get more, like, I guess, not civilized, but like more, I guess, development. Because now they're getting a toll paid to them. Interesting. I'm just wondering why he's sticking around, though. He's gotten their respect. Why doesn't he just leave? Because, of course, he's got his armor that he still hasn't. Oh, water. Yay! Look how happy they all are. That's probably so valuable to them, just seeing water come out of it. Far more valuable than the guns and the spice that they see. Yeah, not of approval. But why doesn't Boba leave yet? Is he really attached to the people that captured him and turned him into a slave and beat him? I mean, his armor's out there somewhere. Okay, getting history and info on the Tuskens, nice.
You have machines now, too.
So he's letting them defend for themselves. Cool. This really is bringing the Tuskens story full circle, isn't it? A guide. What is that? Is it a lizard?
A lizard?
That's gonna guide him. It's a little lizard.
I will let it guide me.
Oh, is it? Ah, what the no? What did you just do? The lizard went up his nose.
I think I swallowed it. It's a tricky little bugger.
You're fine with that? It went inside his head? Is it chewing on his brain? What? What? I don't like that. No, it's a lizard. It went up his nose. They're all nodding. It's weird. It's a lizard. Do all of them have a lizard in their head too? Are they controlled by lizards? Where's he going? Is this after the lizard? What? Is this a dream? I don't know. Oh, the armor flashed there for a second. You have a lizard chewing on your brain. This is fun. Ocean, tree, lightning. Not lightning, weird thunderstorms. Is the lizard doing this? What's it? Ah. Eyes in the tree branches? Okay, so the lizard's a drug. The lizard's a type of drug. It's... And the tree's hugging you. I'm so confused. This is being done by a lizard. Why couldn't it just be done with a spice or something? Oh, in the Sarlacc pit. Okay. Yep. Django. Is this what makes you want to be like Django? The lizard? Is the lizard what makes you try and be more honorable? So the lizard's reminding you of your journey. Yep. Yep. And you're breaking free. Okay. That you broke free from the Sarlacc pit and you broke free from... Okay. Yay. Where is he? Because that was clearly a dream. Did he like walk off somewhere? Or was he like asleep during that and like not moving? But he actually walked off somewhere. Well, okay. That's fun. Honestly, could have died. So they just left him wandering around in the desert with a lizard chewing on his brain. Like, does the lizard come back out or is it just stuck in there? But I'm concerned about the lizard. And he brought back a stick. So was the tree real? I'm so lost. What just happened? Do they all snort lizards? Or is that why they wear their mask so lizards can't jump up their noses? Oh, it came back out! Okay, so it's out. That's... I know.
Thought he was part of the dream.
The branch. Okay, the branch. You want to see the branch? The lizard. And just top right back in the little cage. What are you going to do with the stick? The stick part of the weird dream thingy? Is that why he needs the bantha tank? Because of the lizard? Clearly he doesn't need a bantha tank right now. Okay, fine, they're dressing you. Has he become enlightened or something? This feels a little odd. So he's getting into the outfit that he wore during Mandalorian before he got his armor back. Yep, and I'm guessing they're going to send him out now. Like, has he decided to go find his armor yet? Like, how long has he been in the village, too? It does look cool like that. I take it the branch is being made into one of the sticks. It's going to be more attached to him now. Like, what happened to the weapon then? Because I think he, like, did he just ditch it when he got his armor back? Okay, yep, the branch. Yeah, it's going to be turned into the weapon for him. So it has a lot of sentimental value then, I guess, or I guess to him. It's valued in the sense that he got it with his weird lizard dream. Then where'd it go in the future? Why'd he ditch it when he became, like, back in Boba? When he got his armor and such. So yeah, he has his own weapon now. But like, what? I'm confused on what the dream meant. Is he going to leave? Or like, if he does, why? I don't understand how he could try and find the armor through the weird dream. Or is this him becoming truly one of them? Like the dream and accept a rite of passage thing. In which case, still, when does he decide to leave? Okay, doing a dance. Interesting. Is everyone going to join? I'm still incredibly lost, right? Book of Boba Fett. And this is definitely... I don't think anyone would have expected him to be doing this. Dancing around fire with TUSKENS. I mean, I think it's a good balance for his story. It's trying to just explain where he's been all this time, dancing with TUSKENS, and getting, I guess, back to normal, having lizard dreams. And still, how does this change him into his respect mode? Oh, but ending there, so what did that mean? Okay, so, again, interesting episode, I'll say that. I'm trying to remember what happens in the present, because they do so much with the past stuff that I feel like I'm forgetting what's going on in the present, because it really is not a lot compared to all the flashback stuff. And I feel like that could be an issue with like balancing, because I want to see what's going on in the present. It feels like we've had very little go on there. We've had Boba Fett become the crime lord, and now he's still just trying to establish himself. Not a lot has happened there when they're doing so much with the past stuff, which I think they have to do. But I think, is it the right choice just having him dancing around with TUSKENS and having lizard dreams? The idea of his character is to, I guess, the goal here is to show off how he's gotten his respect, how to go off with that approach. Because the Boba we know wouldn't have gone and tried to rule with respect on Tatooine. So something's clearly changed. The past is meant to explain where that change is coming from. But they're dragging it out a bit. I think I'll say that. He's basically saying that he's learned respect from his time with the Tuskens. Simple as that. They're using the opportunity to explore the Tuskens and expand them more and to just develop them. Fine with that. But I think that could be done a lot more efficiently in terms of Boba Fett's story, because it's not just what you have to explain where he's gotten to. You also have to follow the present story and make that, I think, more prominent, because right now I just feel like the past is more prominent than what the main actual story is, with him dealing with the mayor and becoming a crime lord. So again, I don't think this one this one also hasn't convinced me where his respect has come from, because I just can't see it yet. He's had lizard dreams. If that's where he's gotten the respect from, that's odd to me. I don't think that he got respect. His whole change into the giant change in trajectory for his character came from a lizard dream. That doesn't feel right to me. Like, he still hasn't gone back for his armor. I've got so many like thoughts swimming around my head. It's very difficult to follow, because I think it's just a lot going on with the Tuskens as well, and the story is just quite odd, I'd say. I don't know if I'm alone in this. I'm sure I'm going to get someone saying they feel like this is the best direction for Boba Fett to go ever. I'm just being deluded with what I'm thinking right now. But it seems odd to me. Boba Fett, the merciless bounty hunter that Darth Vader himself had to say no disintegrations, is dancing around the fire with Tuskens. It seems odd. It seems slightly out of character. Of course, they've explained how he's gotten here. But the Boba Fett I feel like should be here should have left by now and tried to find his armor. That was his connection to his father, the most important person in his life, and he's dancing around with Tuskens. I'm surprised he has not left them yet to go off and find the armor. I think I'm surely missing something. I must be missing something as to why he's sticking around for so long. I just think I'm gonna need a lot of explanation for what's happening here. Yeah, then just looking at the episode, I guess. So looking at the present, he's confronted the mayor, he's done that, and it seems like it's gone slightly well. It seems like the old Boba Fett is coming out a little bit. Where did the present even end off? What did he do? He met with the twins threatened, that was it. The twin huts threatened, and they sort of went their away, and then he went to the bantha tank, and then he had the dreams. So he's also reliving this as a dream. That's interesting as well. So not only are we getting to see the flashback, we're also seeing Boba Fett relive it, and just so that him reliving it as well is adding something to his character. So maybe he forgot what he went through here, and now it's coming back to him through the bantha tank. In which case, it's a very complicated way to just say that he's changed. But yeah, so right, present day, he has confronted the mayor. That went kind of okay-ish, I guess. He's gotten money, but it still wasn't the right tribute. The mayor threatened, saying it's like working with family. So the mayor isn't like a good guy, or he's a politician, but he still worked for he worked for Jabba in the past. That's now ended, and his advice was that dealing with family is difficult, because that is what a crime lord is. They're the head of a family, and he has to try and sort everyone out. Then the mayor sent him to Whip, which I think is her name, and he saw that... I don't even know what he saw there. What did he see there? Something sketchy was going on, but then it was interrupted by the drum beat. So we still don't know what's going on with Whip. Something else is going on there, so she's not to be trusted, and she's doing something behind Bubba's back. Guaranteed, because of the whole respect approach. Then the Hutts show up. They weren't there part of the thing, because, yeah, the Hutts do have a claim to it. Jabba's cousin, but Boba has to defend it. Best way to do that is take out the Hutts. I don't think anyone would miss these two Hutts if Boba took them out. It would also send a big power move if he just shot them in the street, and people would then respect Boba for it. Or not respect, they'd fear him for it. Then we go into the past in all of its intensity, with the Tuskens now trusting him and respecting him and giving him a position of authority and letting them lead them in battle. I feel like that is I feel like that's fine in itself, but I feel like personally, I would have preferred a bit more struggle there. Yes, he saved the kid and got back the head of a thingy. Like, I think we don't know the value of that. Yes, it was a kind of a monster thing, but we don't know how much the Tuskens valued that monster. They could have seen it. I don't even know what they could have seen it as. But I feel like there should have been more to earn their respect. Yes, saving the kid is fine, but he's still an outsider. He's someone they barely know. And yes, they saved the kid, but he was also a slave. They clearly looked down on him before, and yet suddenly it's changed quite drastically for him saving the child. Yes, I guess that could be fine, but I think personally, I would have liked more. I would have liked some of them maybe still wary of him. Maybe some weren't just that attached to the kid. Maybe they're still like, he's still an outsider. We don't trust him that much. And then on the train, when they saved that one, that could have been a good example of him not only saving the kid, but saving them all, or saving just more of them. They just seem to be very okay with him out of the kid thing, and I feel like that could have had a bit more friction involved. Then you add the train elements, which I think I guess this story is like taking place, I think it's just a little, I don't know, it's hard to follow because of course no one's able to talk that well. You've got Tuskens who can't speak English, you've got Boba Fett who's trying to understand them, and so you have a lot of silent scenes. It's difficult to follow where things are going to go. Like going to the bar and getting the speeders. Didn't realize that was happening. Didn't realize I thought he said he was gonna deal with the train and he'd be back by morning. I thought he was gonna deal with it by himself and just be Boba Fett. But instead he went to the bar, dealt with the people that were like doing the graffiti thing from the last episode, and then like left with the speeders, then taught the Tuskens how to use the speeders, and then dealt with the train. And the train scene was cool. Did enjoy that, seeing Boba Fett team up with Tuskens to take down that. And we're getting to see them develop, and just they're going to be paid tolls now for spice shipments. Cool. But it's very long-winded, I think. I feel like that could be a story in itself. I think that's what I'm trying to get at. This could have been a story in itself, but the fact that it's being balanced with Boba Fett's future is a bit much. Like, I think I would have preferred if they'd done the past as episodes in itself before getting to the future. Or they do the future stuff first and then go into the past to explain why he is the way he is. Having them both be in the same episode is like fracturing the story and cutting it in half when they're so separated. Like, you're following the present and it's in its own storyline, then you're going to the past where a completely different storyline, and it's difficult to follow those because you're following the same character do different things at different times, and both are so like complex and big. It's one thing to have an episode where you're following one character do one thing, then you're cutting to another character doing something else. This is following the same character do drastically different things at different points in their lives and trying to figure out how the past thing is affecting him in the present. But you're forgetting what he's done in the present because the past thing is also incredibly complex. It's a lot in this episode. I just think it's a lot. It's almost too much. I feel like this should have been, I would have preferred if the first episode dealt with all the stuff in the present and maybe left it off with the Hutts coming, and then second episode deal with all the stuff in the past. Explain the Sarlacc pit, explain the Tuskens, do all that there, and then sort of go back and forth. It makes it easier to digest than seeing the present, cutting to the past, and just trying to figure out how this all impacts each other. And also I feel like it's taking away from Fennec a little bit, because she's like the co-star here, right? I want her to get like her own story going on. That hasn't happened yet. 2 episodes in, she just feels like a side character when she's basically Boba Fett's partner. I wanted to get her own arc, her own bit of the story, and I just feel a bit sad that it hasn't happened in the first 2 episodes. Hopefully it's coming soon. Hopefully it just is there. But of course I don't mind this focusing on Boba Fett. That's kind of a given. This is the book of Boba Fett, not the book of Fennec Shand. But I don't know, it's just, I think this episode was a lot. I'm going to need time to process everything that's happened and try and remember what happened in the present. But I just think it's a whole lot of stuff to get through and trying to remember everything. And then on top of that, trying to figure out how this will change Boba Fett going forward and how this meets up with what he's doing in the present. Okay, first off, I think no matter what my critiques are here, I did enjoy this episode. I think it was fun. I love getting to know more about Tatooine and just seeing Boba actually sort of stand up to the Hutts. That was great, in him trying to defend his position. Just him speaking there was good and trying to defend that he is the daimyo. It wasn't him backing down. He was actually stepping up and saying he's no longer a bounty hunter, and he is being forceful in that way. Of course, I would have liked him to actually start fighting and trying to defend the title more, but I guess this is the first step, which I'm happy with. I think just looking at his character then, I think for me, the biggest issue I'm having is probably the pacing and just trying to understand his story. Because Boba Fett was I wouldn't say a simple character, but you could understand him pretty well. His whole life has been defined by the death of his father, being taken in by pirates and bounty hunters and doing all of that stuff, and he was trying to come back to the honor of his father. That's clear. And here we basically kind of flip-flop between 2 different things because we've seen him from The Mandalorian. We see the slight bit of honor, but I feel like that Boba Fett feels different than the one we're currently seeing. That one beat up stormtroopers very violently. He had the honor, he saved Fennec, but he also was brutal and he took people out very quickly. That felt like Boba Fett. Now here, we're dealing with 2 different Boba Fetts, one from the present and one from the past, where we're getting to see him emerge from the Sarlacc pit and what that's done for him. I feel like the biggest thing there is that he feels different already there than he did from the original trilogy. That's mainly because he doesn't have his armor and that he was kept as a slave, but as soon as he has the respect of the Tuskens here, he starts to feel different. He doesn't feel like he did in the original trilogy, where he would just he would have taken them all out probably and tried to get his armor back. So I think the problem I'm having is trying to analyze where he's gotten the honor from. Where has he decided that he wants to now go from his old ways of being the bounty hunter that he was to then try and rekindle the honor that his father had and live up to that? I would say that does feel kind of lost. I don't know if Jango was the kind of person to disintegrate people. That feels not that honorable. Clearly, Boba Fett, his story here is to try and be more honorable than he was. So now we know that he wasn't as honorable and I was trying to get better. At what point did he decide that? I'd imagine working for Vader, not that honorable. So probably after that, and probably after the Sarlacc pit, he decided to be more honorable. So I'm waiting for that bit. Yet here, he already feels like he's made the decision to be more honorable. And I think it does sort of lack the connection to Jango, which I was looking for. That's where he gets his honor from, so why hasn't that shown up yet? Feels like he's getting his honor from the Tuskens, which feel like a kind of distant connection for him when Django is right there. Then I think just nitpicking, some things feel a little bit out of character because the armor's the huge thing. It's his connection to his father. It's his father's helmet, yet he's not going after it immediately. He knows that the Jawas have it. He knows that much. And then he's been taken in by the Tuskens, yet he hasn't left yet. Yeah, he seems kind of content in just staying with them. And I think that's what feels a little out of character to me. Why isn't he just deciding to go off and find them? Why isn't that not the most important thing on his mind? To find the armor that he inherited from his father. I don't know, I just think it would work slightly better if we did the past stuff first and just all together, and then got on to the present or vice versa, and just keeping them together rather than going back and forth and trying to understand how these two Boba Fetts changed. We're also dealing with the original trilogy Boba Fett. He had changed from that to where he is now in the past with the Tuskens. Then from that he changes from where he is to the Mandalorian, and then to the present. He's not the same character he was because he's gone through different things that change him. Yeah, we haven't seen what has specifically changed him yet, which I'm just waiting for, and yet we're following his story in the present, trying to understand why he's doing the things he's doing, while thinking of the Boba Fett that we know, which wouldn't do these things yet. We haven't seen what made him change. But then on to the Tuskens, who arguably have had a bigger role in this than Fennec, which I think kind of a shame, but I think it's fine. I like that we're getting to see them get development. We get to see them riding speeders and learning how to actually use them. We get to see them attacking a train and defending their land. We're getting to see them just advance in their culture and civilization, where now they're getting paid a toll for letting people to go through. We also got actually them talking about their different tribes and all that stuff, and about the seas or whatever that came before, the sand. I think that is just really nice, just getting to look into their culture, but I also feel like that could have been done in its own story. So I think Mandalorian had a better balance between following Mando's story and just advancing the Tuskens. This one feels far more heavily in the Tusken side of things than it does Boba Fett. But I also like that Boba also said that they don't have to hide anymore, which I'm hoping they don't have to do. I would love to see Tuskens walking around Mos Eisley or Mos Espa or whatever one, they're just acting like normal people. They don't have to just live in the desert, and I think that would be their biggest sign of development as a society, where they're able to mix with other people on the planet and actually be a recognized species that you can work with. Because right now they're basically just seen as the outsiders that live in the desert, and they're seen as this other thing compared to all the other alien species we've seen. They're like in a bubble on their own, and I'd love it if that bubble does pop and they can just join in with the rest of the galaxy. And this feels like a step in the right direction, where they're learning speeders, they're learning technology, and they're getting paid a toll from off-worlders, which is quite big. Then what would they do with those credits? We don't really know if they buy things from people, they trade. What would they do with credits? So hopefully that is another step in their integration. But yeah, then Fennec. So we get to see a bit more on her here. And again, she has that brutality about her. She has the info about the assassins. But really, she's kind of just Boba's bodyguard at the minute. I'm hoping she gets an arc soon. I think that has to come when I guess we're done with the past stuff, if we're ever done with the past stuff. It does kind of feel like a shame because she's such a cool character, and I want her to get some arcs and some development. And this feels like the right point to do it because she is Boba Fett's co-star. Yet here, she basically just gave the information on the assassin, and she was the one that was more brutal than Boba, sending the assassin into the Rancor pit or the cage thing. But other than that, she didn't do a lot in this episode. Hopefully more will come for her, because again, this is only the second episode out of 7, so hopefully she does get a lot more to do and she gets to stand on her own and just gets an arc. I want her to get an arc. I want to see some development. I would love, because we barely know anything about Fennec really. We don't really know her past or how she became a bounty hunter, and this feels like the perfect time to explore her as a character as she goes closer to Boba Fett, the person who saved her life. Then the mayor. So I think this is the antagonist for the show, maybe. We get to finally meet him. Not who I expected. I did not expect him to be that type of alien, because those ones, to me, they always came off as kind of non-threatening. The way their design is, they seem kind of, I don't know how to, docile? I don't know. I don't expect them to be like a villain or something. But it's cool that they use that type of alien for the mayor. I think their voice, that's what does it. Their voice comes off as quite imposing, so that was cool. But again, the mayor comes off as more imposing and threatening than Boba, when Boba should be feared throughout the galaxy. The actual mention of his name and just seeing his armor should make people take him seriously, but the fact that these people around him are being more threatening than him is kind of odd. Like the mayor being so aggressive in his tactics. Maybe it's just him testing Boba and trying to see if this guy is now a good lead for Mos Eisley. Yeah, make him pay me, just see what he does. If he comes back and threatens, then we'll cede and just let him do what he wants to do. Maybe he's trying to ensure the right ruler for Tatooine, Mos Eisley, Espa, all of it. And this could just be a test. But still, then Boba's responses aren't what I'm looking for. I'm looking for him to meet their energy and to be this imposing crime lord figure that he's trying to be. Right now the mayor is doing it better than he is. Then just looking at the pacing of this show, I will say it's a little bit slow, and that's probably because of just trying to deal with the past and present stuff and trying to make that all work. Because the idea is, Boba Fett has been through something that changed him when he showed up in Mandalorian. We didn't know yet. He was more honorable, he was working with others, he saved someone's life who's now partnered with him. So something big happened to Boba, and that is a big thing to tackle. And I think the idea of the Tuskens learning from him is just a bit out there. I don't see how that connection was formed. And I say that basically because it requires a lot. It requires a lot of just explanation and story to go along with the Tuskens, other than him maybe just trying to reconnect with his dad. Like, the story could have easily been the Jawas took the helmet and then they just disappeared into the desert. And it could have been him trying to find that specific group of Jawas to get his father button, to get the armor back all this time, and through that he's basically losing his father all over again. That could have been it. In fact, that would have been more succinct and more, I guess, together than what we're doing with the Tuskens, because that's far more personal to Boba Fett himself, rather than him working with the Tuskens and learning from them. Of course, it's going to end up in the same place where they sort of teach him respect and teach him this new way of life, where he goes off and does the Mandalorian thing after. But I think it just takes almost too much time to get through. We're seeing him first be a slave for the Tuskens, then save the child, and where they respect him, and now he's given them more development, and now dancing around a campfire. So what that means, there's more yet. We haven't seen him leave them yet, so there's still more to do with the Tuskens, when he still should be looking for the armor, and because he already still feels changed, yet it has nothing to do with Django, and that is where his honor comes from. I think it just feels a little messy. That's what I'm thinking. It just feels quite messy when Boba's character feels quite direct. Then I also want to talk about the idea of honor and trying to understand what Boba Fett's honor is, because we don't quite know that yet. We don't really know what Django's honor is. Cad Bane had a sense of honor about him. If someone saved him, he'd save them. That's what we saw with the Cube episode of Clone Wars, where Kenobi was in disguise and he helped Bane, so Bane helped him. That was the honor. I'm assuming Django's is similar, where you can still have a villain who has honor. Cad Bane was not a hero. He was not a good guy. He could work with them if they paid him enough, but he still had honor. Boba Fett, I feel like, should be in that same category, even though this show, I feel like, is trying to turn him into a good guy and a hero, which I don't think fits him. That's what I'm picking up from this. He's saving people, he's giving people second chances, and I feel like that's just quite out of character for his direction, if that is the idea of honor that he's now going for. And that honor, I don't get where that came from. That can't be Django's honor, because he killed people. A bounty hunter like this, who has this type of honor, I don't think would do well in the industry, considering they wouldn't kill people. I think I'm just waiting for it to be defined, because right now we have Boba Fett, who's killed Bib Fortuna and the people around him, and taken his position. Then we also have him going to try and lead with respect and not really being aggressive to anyone, being very passive towards them. And we don't know what his goal is for Tatooine. Would he want to free the slaves that are kind of overwhelming on this planet? Or does he just want to keep things as they are and just get money? Like, what's his goal? What's the motivation for any of this? And I think that will describe what his honor is and how it links to Django or the Tuskens or whatever. I just think it's very loosely defined at the minute, and I'm waiting for that to kick in. As for what's next, I really don't know. So looking at the present stuff, I'm guessing he's got to try and defend the Daimyo status. The Hutts, I'm assuming, will do something. The Wookiee looked awesome, so I would expect a fight with that guy. Other than that, I'm not sure what else can go on the present and just him trying to defend his authority there. But that means he has to be brutal and has to sort of rule with a bit of fear. And then in the past, I'm expecting him to finally leave the Tuskens. I'm waiting for that bit, because we know what happens. He has to go and find the armor. That's what happens. But we really don't know how much time is passing with the Tuskens for him to then go to do that. This is like immediately after the Empire. This is like 5 years ago, before the Mandalorian. Mando hasn't even met Yoda yet. Grogu. That hasn't happened. So he's with the Tuskens and then decides to leave. So there's about 5 years where he could technically be with the Tuskens before he starts going after Cobb Vanth and finding where the armor went. By the end of this episode, it still looked like he was staying with them. He seemed to become one of them. He got the like outfit ready, got the stick. So has he just fully become one with the Tuskens? Does he plan on leaving? Has he given up his armor? I don't know, it just feels like this is raising more questions than answers for me at the minute, which is good for like a second episode, but it feels a little bit out of character for Boba Fett to abandon the armor. I'm surprised that he hasn't tried to go after it yet. Yeah, then overall, I think I did enjoy this episode. It had some really nice moments, especially with the train scene, dealing with the Tuskens. I think the Wookiee looks absolutely awesome, and I do love what could be happening in the present with the sort of crime lord syndicate stuff being rattled by Boba Fett and some kind of, it could be a gang war that happens, which would be really cool. So I'd love that if that's what's being set up. But I think the story is just overly complex at the minute because Boba Fett's sort of core character things are quite simple. Trying to live up to his father, trying to be like his father, get that honor that his father had, but also be his own character. Those I feel like are just kind of not happening here. His thing with the Tuskens feels out of character. Him not looking for his armor immediately feels out of character. And then this whole thing about him trying to find respect, it's just, it feels odd. I feel like he should be much more in tune with what Cad Bane would do. Like if you try and picture Cad Bane in this setting, what would he do? He would probably have, if the Tuskens saved his life and treated him like a slave, he might be a bit merciful to them if he like saves the kid maybe, and then they start treating him nice. But I still feel like he would take overwhelming revenge on them. He settles scores, that's it. The Tuskens do something bad to him, he does something bad to them. If they do something good for him, he will do something good for them. That's what their honor is. Boba learned from Cad Bane as well. So I feel like that should be the kind of dynamic Boba should be having with the Tuskens. They do something bad to him, he does something bad to them. They treat him as a slave, he takes revenge. The fact that he didn't seems a bit odd. It's like he's forgiven. I don't think forgiveness is a thing that most bounty hunters would do. Like, can you really picture someone like Cad Bane taking down the train for the Tuskens and then imposing tolls to allow them to keep moving through? I don't really see that. But yeah, aside from that, the episode was enjoyable. I am enjoying the story in the present and just waiting to see where that picks up and just waiting for Boba to start being Boba again. But I think the past stuff, it drags on a bit, and I'm just waiting for the past stuff to come to an end where it finally does catch up with where he was in Mando, because we know where it ends, we know what happens there, and I'm just waiting for that to actually just get caught up. But yeah, with that said, that does bring me to the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you thought about this episode in the comments, and with that, I will see you in the next one for episode 3. See ya!